Hey, you're probably wondering who we are.
We're Don't Copy That Floppy. We're your weekly video game news podcast. We typically broadcast on Fridays from 7 to 8. We apologize at the beginning of the show. We had some technical difficulties. We had to...
There's been computer things happening and holiday things happening, so we're a bit out of practice.
There are cats everywhere.
There's cats everywhere.
Trying to play with my computer.
There's a single cat everywhere.
There's a single cat that's everywhere.
Schrodinger's cat.
And it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Exactly.
Anyway, so we do video game news. We broadcast from Fridays from 7 to 8. You can find us on Facebook. Don't Copy That Floppy. Please like us on there. You can find us on Twitter at DCTF Podcast. Please follow us on there. And you can find us on our Steam Curator group.
Don't Copy That Floppy.
Yeah. And we also have a profile on the Chipit site, which is chipit.net.
Yep.
If you want to listen live, you go there and you can either listen to their on-site player or you can download a playlist file, listen in iTunes or like Winamp or something.
Yes, sir.
And we have a show archive there.
Yes, we do.
And we're also on iTunes. That was the thing I was forgetting to mention.
Yes.
So we're on iTunes, Don't Copy That Floppy. You can subscribe to us there, and then whenever new episodes get archived, they'll come up in that feed, and you can download them and listen to them super conveniently. So Dan, what do we have to talk about this week?
We got info about Microsoft. We got stuff about Nintendo. We got stuff about Sony. We got all the big three. They're all in there. It's going to be crazy. We've got some stuff about Kickstarter games, which we love to talk about like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So in characteristic fashion, we have a few of those. Got a little bit of info about some other games, some new things coming up for some already released games within the next year. And then we're going to round up with a little look at some upcoming video game releases.
A whole new year of video game
releases. Sometimes we'll end with a short game review by one of us, or both of us, or none of us.
I have some stuff I want to talk about. I just don't think we're going to have time because we've got so much news today.
You can go nuts. I don't have a game to review, so...
You've just been playing Pokemon.
I just played so much of it. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. And Smash.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we're talking about this week is Xbox Live founder Boyd Multerer leaving Microsoft.
So this is an article from Polygon from December 29th, and I want to point out, if you go to this article, you will see the scariest picture of this guy.
Looking.
It's like the worst picture they could have picked for him.
I know. Maybe he requested it. Who knows? I don't know.
So this guy's been with Microsoft since '97, I believe.
Yeah. So he worked on Xbox Live and the XNA game development tools for the Xbox system. I've been there for 17 years.
So we gotta give this guy a lot of credit.
Yes.
I know what you're probably thinking is like, yeah, whatever, I don't care about this guy. But actually,
he was hired in 2000. They hired him to do specifically the work on Xbox Online.
Well, it's like if we look back at Xbox Live or Xbox Online on the original Xbox.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it wasn't great.
It was something.
But if you wanted to play shooters over the internet, like, and you weren't on a PC, like, it was the best way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, and Halo 2 actually came together really well as far as the online components went. That was when they really, like, got it right. Mm-hmm. Was with Halo 2.
And then he went on to... also Xbox Live on the 360 was such a big deal because it really encouraged indie developers to make games with the tools that he helped develop for them.
Yeah.
And that's something that now that Sony has been taking those cues from that. They support indie devs, and now Steam is around, and they do all that stuff.
And he was the guy who hyped up the Xbox One's cloud computing functions.
Oh, just recently.
Just recently when they unveiled it.
Which is the next big step for their online stuff that I'm excited for. Yeah.
So he was definitely part of the team designing all of those functionalities and everything as well. So yeah, pretty important guy. Considering how much Xbox Live became a thing.
Yeah, Xbox Live really led the way in terms of online console stuff.
Yeah.
And I think if with the cloud stuff, if they implement that quickly and efficiently enough, I think they will probably continue to lead the way with online console stuff.
Most likely. Mr. Multerer himself said he tweeted Goodbye, Microsoft. It was a good run. Xbox was great. Time to do something new. So this sounds like he feels like he's done what needed to be done at Microsoft and is going to move on and try and work on some other project.
Yeah, because 17 years is plenty of time for anybody.
And Xbox Live is done enough that I feel like he probably feels comfortable just kind of leaving it in the hands of whoever's still there. Because it's been perfected pretty far at this point. Like, it's a solid online function in just about every way. And it's getting better. So, who knows what will be next for Mr. Boyd Molterer?
Making more online
Maybe
stuff.
he'll go work at Sony.
I mean, they could use some help.
They could use a little bit of help with their online components right now. Well, we're still, before we get to Sony, though, talk a little bit more about Microsoft. On December 31st, I'm yawning so much today.
Jeez.
On December 31st, another article for Polygon, hackers reportedly leaked Xbox One's software development kit in the name of creativity and research.
Hackers gonna hack.
Hackers gonna hack, I guess is all you can really say
They
about
just
this.
like to do that.
So typically these software dev kits are not in any way released to the public. These are things for the company itself. These are things for game development teams to use. And they actually, as far as I know, if someone on a game dev team releases one of these to the public, there are some very serious repercussions. As far as legal action and the like, that can be taken. So, for whatever reason, they want to keep these kits secret. Maybe it's because if everybody... Stop playing with the cat, mate. The article.
I don't want to play with the cat. It's everywhere and nowhere at once.
Oh, the cat. But, maybe it's because if people got their hands on these software dev kits, we'd realize how much better the games could be.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. But... maybe not.
No, I think it's probably just legal stuff.
Yeah, so it was reportedly leaked by hacking group Halt. That's spelled H4LT.
This is a cool way to spell it.
For anybody who's not in the know with the leet speak. Why do hacking groups do that?
Hackers gonna hack, man.
I
That's
mean,
just the way they are.
So it opens the possibility for developers to create homebrew mods for the console in the future. For now, developers must still be registered with and approved by Microsoft before officially releasing... I can't stop!
Damn, wake up.
Releasing software. So far, they say that there is no definite exploit that could allow developers to bypass that check, but it hopes that those familiar with Windows 8 can dig into the files and find more information.
But that's the thing. No one's familiar with Windows 8, so nothing will come.
Exactly. Yeah, they made a mistake.
Have you tried to use Windows 8? I don't know how to use it.
I just finished fixing up my computer and reinstalling everything. I steer clear of Windows 8.
Yeah, you better.
Get that stuff out of here. So, I mean, I suppose that the big issue here, and probably why there's the legal issue, is that having this dev kit does allow you to modify
existing games
and create modifications for the system firmware and hardware itself.
Now that's what I was
not
most...
the hardware, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the system's UI and like inner workings.
That's what I was actually so excited about when I first heard this, because like mods on PC are tons of fun.
Yeah.
And I always wished there was
these
mods.
huge communities for them for every game that supports them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And like that's one of the downsides to console gaming is you don't get that. But since now, as we talked about earlier, consoles have these very strong online component. If you could make mods, I feel like huge communities would pop up around those, and that would just be cool, fun.
Yeah.
It's not like there's anything wrong with the PC ones.
They also only allegedly released this dev kit. Like this article, it's not confirmed whether or not they actually gave it to anyone.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. They reportedly leaked it. The alleged software development kit leak. So they leaked it to just the public. But that could mean just like a couple people, or they might just be blowing smoke, or, we don't really know.
Well, this is originally from...
This is the 31st. So it was only a couple days ago.
Yeah, no, scroll down a little bit. I want to look at their sources.
The Verge.
The Tech Game and Seven Sins are not websites I've ever heard of.
No.
So that makes me wonder. But Verge are usually pretty good about what they print. So maybe, I don't know, be on the lookout for it. Do you like to mod things? Do you understand Windows 8? Okay, you don't, so I'll just stop talking. It's fine.
1 in a million human beings can use this dev kit. So that's some interesting stuff for Microsoft. Let's talk about Nintendo. Guess what Nintendo just won?
They're making another Nintendogs? That's all I'm waiting for.
We can only pray. I want a Wii U Nintendogs where I can touch the dog. And can pet the dog with the gamepad.
With the gamepad?
It'd be amazing. You can like high five him on the gamepad, the puppy. It'd be great.
No, but okay, so this is kind of an update to some stories we've done in the past.
Yeah. This is Nintendo domination as they win 2 patent disputes over the original Wii.
Quick history lesson. When the Wii came out and was wildly successful,
every single company that had a motion control patent of any kind
sued Nintendo
and said that they were using their patent
because they wanted to get that sweet Wii money.
They did.
And so
say it like that.
So Nintendo's been fighting these ever since, and it's only now, years later, that a lot of these court cases are resolving because the court system is slow. Yep. We had done a story recently about Philips. And how Nintendo had settled with them, and they had ended up having to give them a bunch of money, but now Philips will lay off and not ask for any more, which was nice. Which was not the best case scenario, but was better than I guess some scenarios. This one that we're reporting on today, which is, when was this article published?
This is a bit old. This is the 23rd of December.
Oh, so old.
This one's a little ways off.
But this is 2 lawsuits that they just won, straight out won. So these people who are trying to get money from them will get nothing because they don't deserve anything.
Creative Kingdoms and Ultimate Pointer. Okay.
All right.
So Creative Kingdom's complaint sought to have the International Trade Commission ban the import of the Wii and the Wii Remote. And this is in... where?
The UK, I thought?
I believe it is the UK. Yes. Because they had... they claimed that the Wii and its accessories violated patents for magic wand toys that Creative Kingdoms had developed for use in theme parks.
I can't... This is why patent law is so screwed up. Because it was specifically magic wand toys for use in theme parks, and they could sue the Wii over that.
Yeah.
What? That's obviously not the same thing.
That's a huge stretch. Oh my goodness.
This is why Nintendo deserved to win this lawsuit, so I'm very glad that they did.
Yeah. Nintendo of America Vice President and Deputy General Counsel Richard Medway said that they were pleased with the court's determinations.
And didn't he give a quote about how they're about aggressively protecting their
vigorously
stuff?
Defend patent lawsuits, particularly when the patents are being stretched beyond the inventor's ideas.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That was also an awesome quote, because he was like, yeah, screw you guys.
Yeah, well, it reminds me of the Philips lawsuit a little bit, where the Philips people got their settlement, and the guy representing Philips said, "This just goes to show you that Philips is a company that values defending its patent copyrights, even if they're completely unfounded and ridiculous.
Go back to making light bulbs.
And we don't plan on making anything with them."
Yeah.
But at least it's different from Nintendo because they actually make things with these patents.
That's true. And what was the other company? There was a company that was in the
Ultimate
U.S.?
Pointer in Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Texas. They developed a tool called the U-Point, alleging that the Wii and Wii Remote violated 2 patents regarding wireless direct pointing devices.
I heard that and I was like, so are they suing companies that make remotes for TVs? Because that's the same thing.
Yeah. We are pleased with these decisions, blah, blah, blah. Once again, he re-quoted himself. Nintendo, he also did add, Nintendo continues to support reform efforts to reduce the unnecessary and inefficient burden patent cases like this one place on technology companies in the United States. Sick burn.
Sick burn.
Sick burn on Ultimate Pointer. Hey, bro, your lawsuit's so frivolous. Oh, there you go.
I got a cat.
Cat in your lap. Real cool cat. But, so yeah, Nintendo's doing pretty good on this patent defense front. The Philips one didn't quite work out, but these, other than that, they seem like they're doing alright. So let's talk Miyamoto.
Oh, Miyamoto gives another boss answer from Nintendo.
Yeah, this one's about 2 weeks old. This was published fairly recently after the last show we did. It's from December 19th. Miyamoto discusses the next Nintendo console, amiibo cards, and the Mario movie.
The Mario
Isn't that a
movie.
tantalizing headline, everyone?
So part of this is because, and he covers a couple things in an interview that the Associated Press did with him recently.
Yep.
But the Mario movie thing, I want to jump into that first because that's what I remember most vividly from this article.
A recent hacking attack on Sony Pictures,
which you've probably heard of.
Yeah.
Because it's been all over the news for different facets of it.
Yeah.
One of the things that got released, Cat, you can't go there. No. One of the things that got released was this correspondence between Sony and Nintendo where they were saying like, hey, let's make another Mario movie. And everyone got real freaked out because we remember the old Mario movie.
You remember the one.
And we don't remember it fondly.
You remember the one.
So, Bob Hoskins, the role that...
He was drunk in every scene.
That makes sense.
He needed to be on set.
But yeah, so they ask Miyamoto about this. And Miyamoto's answer is like super boss. He basically said, oh yeah, studios come to us asking about making Mario movies all the time. Whatever. So he actually said specifically that they're not planning on making one. But he was just like, yeah, of course it'd be in their correspondence because everybody's asking us about making a Mario movie.
Yeah, he does say, I don't particularly have a vision that the next iteration of Mario is going to be in film. Which is a really polite way of saying, I don't want to make a Mario movie again.
But everybody loves Mario so much, they always come into him anyway.
Yeah, but just play the games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the games are good. So, regarding the lifespan of particular amiibo, this is kind of interesting in the context of, we talked about the amiibo on our last show. Mostly we talked about GameStop's shady dealing.
Because every time we talk about GameStop, it's them doing something shady.
Shady with the Shulk amiibo this time. But also on the subject of various amiibos and how some of them are going to have more staying power than others. Because obviously, like, if you get the Mario amiibo, you'll potentially never run out of games to use it with. If you get the Link amiibo, there will be tons of stuff to use it with. If you get the Animal Crossing amiibo, there will probably be more stuff for you to do with it eventually. But what if you get the Rob amiibo? Or the Duck Hunt Dog amiibo? when
you mean there isn't a yearly Duck Hunt game?
If only.
If only.
We need to bring it back. And I mean, there's a new Star Fox game coming, so that's something even if you got like Fox or Falco. It just seems like a lot of these characters, these little figures, are probably only going to get a single production run. Because there's just not going to be enough going on with them outside of Smash Brothers. But I guess we'll see. Miyamoto said that
he tries to assure people.
He says that some of them will be retired once they're done releasing them all for Smash.
Yeah.
And already tons of them are really hard to find. I did manage to get my Captain Falcon one.
Good.
Because my girlfriend reserved it for me and picked it up. I needed that. So I have my Captain Falcon amiibo, and she's got Kirby. And neither of us plan on getting any more. But, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see which ones...
I mean,
which ones will last.
I'd get a Link, I'd get a Samus.
Yeah, there's probably another Metroid game on the way at some point.
And there's always a new Zelda game.
Yeah.
Plus, those figures are just cool to have.
Yeah, they're neat little figures. And if you have Smash Brothers, like, they're worth having.
Yeah.
Because you can do some cool stuff with them in Smash. You can do, like, amiibo cockfighting with your friends. You raise your character and then have them fight each other. It's neat. Also, those amiibos, when you fully train them, they get tough.
Oh, really?
They get when they're it doesn't actually take that long to max them out, which is one complaint I've heard from people. But when they are maxed out, they are brutal. Like, they are absolutely brutal.
Nice.
Like, a lot of people I've seen talking about it said that they maxed out their amiibo and now they can't beat it in a fight. Like, which is nuts. As far as their willingness to include retired figures and like how future games will be impacted by all of this, Miyamoto said, "We are not making promises for certain figures, but the way Amiibo is designed is that certain games can have Amiibo specifically for that game. Other games can take advantage of past Amiibo that developers want to make their game compatible with. In the future, we have the option, if certain Amiibo figures are no longer available, to release an Amiibo in card form with the same functionality." Which I think is a good compromise. Because if they don't want... Obviously, it's harder for them to produce the little figures.
Yeah.
So maybe if you miss the boat, but you still end up wanting one down the line, card reader things would be a cheap, like, satisfying alternative.
To get the in-game content.
To get the in-game content. Because if you really want the figure, at this point, I feel like everybody who really, really wants them is going to be trying to get them now.
Yeah.
And this is just like you happen to pick up X game later on, and you decide, like, oh, there's an Amiibo thing for this. You want to spend the extra couple bucks to get the Amiibo card or whatever. You can go for it.
He also shifts a little bit of the onus onto
the other developers.
Other developers saying, like, listen, we got the code for it. They gotta add it.
So anyone who wants to do that, like, if Retro were to make another Metroid or another Donkey Kong game, that'd be up to Retro Studios to make that functionality capable, like to add Donkey Kong Amiibo functionality to it.
When was the last time we saw a Donkey Kong game?
Not that long ago.
Oh, really?
Tropical Freeze on the Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, pretty recent. And also very good.
Good.
That and Donkey Kong Country Returns are both really good.
Nice.
So Retro made Metroid Prime back on the GameCube and on the Wii. I want them to go back to making a Metroid game. I mean, the Donkey Kong games they're making are great, but man, do I want another Metroid game from them. Not like that other M garbage.
That other M garbage.
Garbage. Get it out of here.
Yeah, did he talk about anything else?
He did. He talked about how, he says, well, we were busy working on software for the Wii U. We have production lines that are working on ideas for what the next system might be.
Oh, that was the other big thing from this article.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did tease that they are already kind of working on concepts and ideas for the new console.
Well, I'm still interested to see what their console idea stuff is for China.
Yes.
That they're trying to release for them. Obviously, it's a different kind of market, so it's being designed differently for like different sort of pay
Miyamoto
grade.
himself probably has very little to do with that.
I don't know. I'd assume he'd have more to do with it.
I don't know.
But I'd be interested to see what that's like, because that might give us some clues as to like where their developers are going in terms of hardware.
Right.
And maybe not, but I think it would be an interesting sort of comparison.
Yeah, for sure. So Sony having a rough time again.
Sony's always having a rough
They're
time.
always having a rough time. There's a PSN outage over Christmas.
Again. Another denial of service?
Distributed denial of service.
That was it.
attack.
Distributed denial of service.
Yes. Yet another. These hackers just can't get enough of it.
Dude, hackers gonna hack.
They just love hacking that PSN and messing with everybody's video games. So anyone who could not access their PlayStation Plus account during this time is getting a free 5-day extension added onto it. This is Sony's way of making it up to them.
And also 10% discount on anything from the PlayStation Store.
Apply to a total cart purchase.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
Get a big old cart full of stuff.
Especially around this time of year, because it's like people getting money for the holidays, so they want to buy video games. That happens a lot, so I'm sure a lot of people are very happy about that. And I give Sony some credit for giving people that stuff. But on the other hand, I'm really mad at Sony because this isn't the first time this has happened. This has been happening for months.
So the hacker group was called the Lizard Squad.
The Lizard Terrorists?
The Lizard Terrorists.
We talked about these in one of our earlier shows.
We did,
I think that episode might be called Lizard Terrorists, so you can look it up in our...
Right, yeah. So the Lizard Squad claimed responsibility, and authorities have already arrested and questioned several of them, reportedly. they have done this.
But again, months ago this happened already.
Yes.
So if PlayStation...
Hey, since August, the Lizard Squad has made a nuisance of and name for itself by taking down a variety of gaming networks, including Blizzard's, PSN, Xbox Live. On December 1st, they threatened to take down both PSN and Xbox Live over the holidays. Then they did.
Then they did.
That's my own addition.
They weren't bluffing.
Yeah.
No, but it only bothers me. Like, obviously these guys are good because they can take down all these different networks.
Know what they're doing at the very least.
But if you're in Sony and these guys hit you, like, and then they hit you again the same way months later after they warned you they were going to hit you again, like, dude, put more money into shoring up security.
Why did you not prepare for that more?
Like, they obviously tried to... I'm going to assume they tried to prepare for it.
Some of these things, it's like you don't know exactly what's going to happen, so you don't know exactly how to prepare for it. And even if you do prepare for it, it could still take time to get everything running again.
Yeah. But again, like, Sony, you're a mega company. You can handle this.
No, they're having a rough time lately. They only have a pittance to spend on their net security. But it's not... It looks really bad for them as a company, given that there were the big leaks of, like, PSN user information all too recently. Mm-hmm. So for there to still be all these hacking problems with the PSN is not reassuring for your customers at all.
Like, guys, you're not doing enough. You need to do more.
They're trying, but they're not trying hard enough.
So that's why they need that guy who just left Microsoft to get on board.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get Boyd.
He may look scary, but he does a good job.
He does. He scares those hackers right off.
Maybe that's how he stopped hacking at Microsoft.
Maybe. So we're going to talk about Kickstarter. We always talk about some Kickstarter games.
Article. Wait, before we get into this.
Oh yeah, you should do the thing.
Show ID. Are you confused because you're listening to the show and you're like, this isn't chiptune music? I don't get it.
Have you been listening to this for a half hour and I'm still wondering why it's not chiptune music anymore?
Well, you're listening to Don't Copy That Floppy with your hosts Lex and Dan.
I'm the second one.
You're the second one on that list. And we are a weekly video game news podcast. We talk about all sorts of news stories, and also Kickstarter stuff as well.
Yes.
And we broadcast every week from 7 to 8 on chipit.net. You can listen to us live at that time by going to the chipit.net website, listening through their on-site player, or you can download a playlist file and listen in like iTunes or Winamp or something. And you can follow us on all sorts of social media stuff that we have. So you can like us on Facebook, which is Don't Copy That Floppy. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF Podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and download old episodes, which is just Don't Copy That Floppy on iTunes. And you can also follow us, join our Steam group, and follow us as a curator on there. Also, there's a show archive up on the chipit.net site. We have a page on there. So check that out. We'd really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy those older episodes. Getting back to this week's show, so we've got our Kickstarter story of the week. We love doing Kickstarter stories like every week.
Whether they're good or bad or somewhere in between. Whether they're Night Trap or good or somewhere in between.
Oh no, Night Trap.
This actually, for some reason, I've always associated this game with Night Trap, and I think it's just due to the time period it came out during.
Well, the name is similar,
and the style of it. You're in this house. So this is a Kickstarter for a game by the creators of Maniac Mansion, which is an old point-and-click adventure game on the PC.
1987, is that when they said that it came out?
I think so, yeah. This is an old game. Yeah, 1987's Maniac Mansion. So this was an old LucasArts adventure game. Anybody who's old enough and is listening to us has probably played a LucasArts adventure game at some point. And knows that they're super good.
They are. They were really great. Good. Yeah.
So the guys who made Maniac Mansion did a Kickstarter campaign for a game called Thimbleweed Park, which is a new old school adventure game that they wanted to put out. It was successfully. This article about it is from December 22nd, so this is a little while ago now at this point. It successfully funded their Kickstarter with a final tally of $626,250
Yeah.
from over 15,000 individuals. The goal was 375,000, so they exceeded the goal by 67%, and reached all of their stretch goals.
All of them.
In doing so, everything's good. And I like the quote on here about the game. It's like opening a dusty old desk drawer and finding an undiscovered LucasArts adventure game you've never played before. That's a pretty appealing little...
And since it's the original devs and the fact that the graphic style looks like something that was from
it looks
the
like
late
Maniac
80s.
Mansion,
Yeah.
especially, but with more color and definition to everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. The color palette, like, in terms of the pixelation on the game, it looks like an old game. Like, you know how normally now you'll see with indie games a lot of pixel art stuff?
Yeah.
Like this...
Shovel Knight.
Like Shovel Knight.
Knight's a good example.
Yeah, like...
Where it has that style, but there's more being done with it than could have been done on an actual NES.
Yeah.
It definitely has that feel to it of like an old DOS adventure game.
And I know what you're thinking, probably, audience, is I'm so sick of pixel art games.
But it has a place.
And in this situation, it makes the most sense. Because they're sort of, because they can't officially say it's a sequel because licensing.
Yeah.
But they're basically making a sequel to a game that looked like that.
Yeah.
So it, like, makes sense to do it that way. Makes more sense than a lot of the other pixel art games we see.
This game seems like it's going to be pretty robust too. They're really going for a lot with it. There's 5 playable characters, branching story paths, multiple, like you can switch between these characters at any given time, so they have multiple endings and things, and hours of gameplay for each. So for a point-and-click adventure, this seems like it's going to have quite a lot of content in it.
Oh, yeah.
As well, and I'm really curious to see more of it now. I had not even heard of this until I saw this article, that this was being made. But this is cool.
Well, in terms of some of the games that are on Kickstarter that get, like, millions of dollars towards them, like, this is much smaller.
Yes.
But still definitely a project worth checking out.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you liked these old games, like the Indiana Jones adventure games, if you liked Monkey Island, if you liked Maniac Mansion, if you like Sam and Max Hit the Road,
Yeah.
my personal fave. All those old LucasArts games. Even if you like King's Quest, like the Sierra ones as well, like King's Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry is the best. No, so this is... It's interesting. We're seeing, in terms of indie developers, we're seeing like a huge resurgence of point-and-click adventure games.
Yes.
And I'm kind of waiting to see... I think a lot of what's driving it, in my mind, is nostalgia stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of waiting to see, like, how sales are, because I would love to see a resurgence in, like, bigger markets of these kind of games. Because I think they're awesome and totally worth playing as someone who grew up playing some of them.
There is the new King's Quest game coming out.
That's true. That was announced at the Game Awards.
Yes. Jeff Keighley's Game Awards. Praise be thy name. Dorito Pope. I'm curious how that's going to play. Because obviously it can't really be a point and click like the old King's Quest games. At least I don't think.
Or can it?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We don't know yet.
I mean, it looks really cool. I would highly recommend, if you guys didn't see that part of the...
Check out the trailer.
Actually, just watch the whole Game Awards, because they were amazing.
Yeah, and you can find the stream of it.
Yeah.
Just rewatch it. It's really good.
But yeah, that in particular...
like making potato salad, or cleaning your toes.
Putting together a Gundam kit.
Putting together a Gundam model kit. Whatever strikes your fancy. So yeah, I agree too. I'm curious what the sales will be like, because I feel like there have been times like this where a game has gotten funded or a thing has happened because of nostalgia, and then the sales have ended up being lackluster. Because people tend to get all excited of like, ooh, it's like that thing, they're bringing it back, and then it comes out. They get all hyped, and then months later it comes out, and then they're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that it happened, but I don't actually really need to get it.
Yeah, there'll be that initial wave of nostalgia buys, but then the game won't actually appeal to a mass market, so you won't have people continuing to buy it.
Right.
It
wasn't as much of a problem back in the day when dev teams were small, costs were low, and the market was smaller in general. Mm-hmm. Where you could just be like, I want to make Monkey Island 2. and you put out Monkey Island and like 10 people bought it. And you're like, yeah.
They're like, Tim Schafer, do whatever you want. Tim Schafer's like, I am a god in this industry. I make everything.
Yes. Oh yeah, Point Click Adventure, Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
While we're at it.
I want to play the remastered version of that.
I do as
like,
well.
Real bad.
I never got to play the original.
No, neither did I.
Yeah.
I got to play quite a few point and clicks when I was younger, but not that one.
And it's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah. So there was a point a point and click a little while ago where I was just like, I should download and play that original game, and then I heard about the remaster version. I'm like, ooh, I want to hold out for that remaster.
Did you play Sam Max Hit the Road?
No.
That's a point and click to play.
All right.
That game's weird, but in like all the best ways.
I played a little Day of the Tentacle. I played some Monkey Island. I played some Indiana Jones.
You need money. That's the other one I was trying to think of, Day of the Tentacle.
Yep.
You need money at one point in Sam Max Hit the Road, and you're in your office. It's like right near the beginning of the game. You can't leave till you have money because you have to take a cab.
Oh no! Do you sell yourself?
No. Given the neighborhood their office is in, you probably could. You could sell Max.
Oh no!
His supple rabbit body. But Sam and Max are a dog and a rabbit detective team, by the way.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know. But no, you just reach. You control Sam, and you just reach into a rat hole in the wall and pull out a giant wad of cash. And you never need money for the rest of the game because you just have a wad of cash so huge that it pays for everything you might need throughout the rest of the game.
Dude, the rodents that lived in his office were, loaded.
Nasty, man. There's also a part where you put a black light in Max's mouth and use him as a flashlight.
All right.
It's an interesting game. You really got to think outside the box on some of those puzzles. Because Max is just an object you can use in your inventory. It's pretty great. You travel cross country in a junkie car, and you can see the world's biggest ball of twine, and go play gator golf. It's a real good time.
So anyway, Thimbleweed Park.
Thimbleweed Park.
We're excited about it. It looks really cool.
If I had known about this earlier, I would have talked about it earlier, like when it was actually being kickstarted.
Yeah.
But, oh well. So while we're on the topic of Kickstarter, Mighty Number 9. A game that got funded quite some time ago now.
There's a little more level run-throughs that have been released of this game.
Yep. So there's more general gameplay peaks and things like that.
So I was watching some of the level run-through stuff, and honestly, I was not super impressed with it.
I haven't actually watched any of these videos yet.
Well, you should.
So I should.
Because I know you're excited about this game.
Not, like, extremely. Because as a kid, I was never a huge Mega Man fan. I like Mega Man.
Yeah.
But I was never like, oh my god, Mega Man.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm glad this is getting made. But I was still on the fence about whether I was really, wanted to hype myself up for it and everything.
It's bizarre from the...
I'm going to mute this video and just let it play while you talk about this here.
From what I was watching of them, it looked good, it looked solid, but it looked like a very generic Mega Man clone rather than the next evolution of Mega Man, and that's I think what I'm the most worried about is he's just going to he's making
Mega
some
Man.
Yeah. It just and the environments didn't look particularly...
That's the thing I'll say right off the bat watching this is that this level at least looks bland.
Yeah.
It does not look very interesting.
It doesn't look bad. It just looks kind of boring.
Yeah, there's nothing really special going on. I mean, you look at a lot of Mega Man stages have a lot of interesting design going on in them.
Yeah.
Like themed design. And I mean, it basically is a Mega Man game, so why not use an example? Look at Shovel Knight. The stages in Shovel Knight are super cool and really interesting and fun to go through. So seeing this just looks so flat.
Yeah.
There's no interesting visual hooks or things going on.
And I guess if it wasn't the guy who made the original Mega Man, I wouldn't have my expectations so high.
It just looks like a big underground parking garage.
Yeah.
It's very, very bland.
So I'm worried about that a little bit. But again, the game hasn't come out yet, so there's still... we can't totally judge it on this. But the announcement that they made that was on New Year's was that the game is coming out soon.
This stage is a bit more interesting.
That's true, yeah.
The third one
That they show on this.
Still
And this
not-
is from a Destructoid article that is, I don't remember when it's from. It's from like today or yesterday?
It's from yesterday.
Alright,
the
so the
first.
first.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year!
This stage looks like a bit more interesting, but still not amazing. And I mean, the boss rooms are Mega Man boss rooms
Yeah.
here. So I know a lot of people are really looking forward to it. I hope it'll be cool. Like, I hope it becomes kind of more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry that this is going to be a game that we're just getting too hyped for, so
And then
it's not going to
release,
live up.
And it's just going to be like, well, it's okay.
It's okay, yeah, it's okay.
Like, it's a good game, I guess.
Hopefully it doesn't bomb, because then it will be another in the category of Kickstarter games that have done amazingly on Kickstarter, and then when they actually come out have not done well.
It'll also be another on the pile of people don't want to play Mega Man anymore. Even though it's not Mega Man. It's close enough.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Leaked photos. So you sent me this article from 11 hours ago.
This happened.
This happened not long ago.
Not long ago.
Another Destructoid article.
So this is leaked photos show Bungie's possible plans for Destiny in 2015. So we talked a little in a past episode, in one of our recent past episodes, about how like there's sort of the way they want to do Destiny.
Big expansion, new game.
Yeah.
For Destiny, big expansion, new game.
So we see here a leaked photo that has like sort of a timeline on it.
Yes.
And we see Destiny Comet Plague of Darkness, which is like such a freaking Destiny title for something. It's just like...
You mean a really painfully bad and trite and cliched title?
Yes, because that's what I'm calling Destiny titles now.
Yeah.
They've called enough stuff in their game.
Every time something like this comes up in a game now, we can just be like, it's so Destiny.
Didn't they... Isn't there a new expansion called, like, The Dark Below?
Something like that.
Like... Come on, you guys.
Oh,
but no, I like
there is a darkness here.
A darkness in the darkness. No, but Comet Plague of Darkness I think is just hilarious because it's like a fantasy title, Plague of Darkness, and then just with some space thing thrown in front of it.
Comet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Comet probably hits and darkness comes from it.
Well, yeah.
In a plague-like fashion and spreads. But as you were saying, this timeline shows Destiny, then shows Episode 1, Episode 2, and then Comet, and then Episode 3, and then Episode 4. Which does follow that 2 DLC expansions, and then a new game release, disc release. Formula. Comet, Plague of Darkness, is allegedly going to be marketed on a disc because of how large it is, and because they want more money.
Well, yeah.
There are 3 new subclasses rumored. Oh boy. One of the expansions will deal with the Vex. Again, I don't know who they are, but the fact that there's an again there makes me think we've seen them before. Cabal related. Comet is apparently Destiny 1.5. If the schedule is believed, there will be no Destiny 2, since the last leaked expansion will hit in December 2015. Finally, a Game of the Year-like edition is planned after Comet, which would include everything.
Yeah. So, if... I think the big problem with Destiny right now is that so much of it you have to pay for.
Yes.
If more of this DLC is free and adds cool stuff to the game for free, then I think people will be more likely to pay for the big game chunks.
Yeah, but right now they're asking so much.
Yeah.
For all these pieces of this game. It's pretty ridiculous.
So, Bungie's got a plan. We'll see if it works out for them.
Alright.
How many more articles do we have? We still have
we got like 3, and then talking about games. Talking about Minecraft.
Minecraft.
So, Minecraft in 2015 will be getting an episodic story-based game from Telltale Games.
Oh, yay.
If you don't know, they made Jurassic Park the game.
The game.
Their best known work. The Walking Dead. Walking Dead Season 2.
The Game of Thrones game
and
as well.
The newly released Game of Thrones
Yep.
thing by Telltale. They're also working on a Borderlands
Oh, yeah.
title, I believe.
Forgot about that.
They got work all over the place right now.
But their stuff is generally really good, so it's not necessarily
It's
that
really really good, so I don't know why they're doing a Minecraft.
There's a quote in this that's bizarre. It's...
Which one was that?
Can you scroll down a little bit? It was just so funny to me. Okay, so I want you to keep in mind that this game is called Minecraft Story Mode. One of the quotes in this article is, "We're not intending on creating an official story for Steve or explaining the world of Minecraft in detail. It will just be a cool game."
What does that mean?
So a company that makes story-based games... Entirely.
Those games you don't play those for the gameplay.
No.
You don't.
You play them for the story, and the stories are great.
The stories are really good. But you don't play those for the
Sometimes there's some quick time sequences. That's as actiony as they get.
Yeah.
And they're making a game called Story Mode, and in that game they say they're not intending on creating an official story.
Well, they also say that they want to... they want to... It's a bit tricky working out how to explore a story without diluting Minecraft itself. I'll say... Because what Minecraft, you just walk around, you dig holes.
You build buildings.
Build buildings. Like, how are they going to do an intense choice-based dialogue-heavy storyline?
I honestly, when I first...
I just am not... This is my biggest fear about this. I don't see how they're going to pull this off.
When I first heard about this...
really stupid.
I heard a random rumor about this like a month ago.
Yeah.
And when I first heard about it, I thought it was a joke.
That's ridiculous.
And that's why I didn't talk about it on the show, because I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a joke.
It does.
Especially that quote that they talked about. It's like, this is dumb. It's so
they
dumb.
do say here, there's a massive demand for fiction set in the Minecraft universe. People love engaging the world, whether they're building, adventuring, or role-playing an awesome creeper slayer. I want to say something about this, because I was in a Barnes & Noble not less than a week ago.
Not even a fortnight.
After I saw Big Hero 6, I was in a Barnes & Noble. Great movie. But we don't talk about movies here. And I found in there the Minecraft section of Barnes & Noble.
Of course.
Included in this section were strategy guides, obviously. Coffee table books of impressive creations in Minecraft.
All right.
And most baffling of all, fiction Minecraft novels. Now I saw this and I said, what is this? This couldn't possibly be what I think it is.
Now all I can imagine
and
is a point-and-click adventure game like Maniac Mansion, and you walk into a Barnes & Noble, and you're like, what is this? And you click on the bookcase, and you pull out a book. What could it be?
It was a Minecraft novel, and it sucked.
Yeah, I bet it sucked.
I read like a page out of it, and I was like, why does anyone want this?
Minecraft is such a fad.
It's so big right now, and I didn't realize it because I played it years ago. Like, I played it when it was in, like, the beta mode, and, you know, before Notch. I played it when it was just Notch.
It was just that guy with his hat.
And then Jeb. It was just the two of them for a while. And then I stopped around the time it was moving towards Xbox, like they were talking about doing it on the arcade. I had stopped a bit before then. And I guess I just didn't realize just how much it caught on.
Like Hansel, Minecraft is so hot right now.
It's so hot right now. But
it baffles me that
fiction novels set in the Minecraft universe. Like, can you wrap your head around that?
It doesn't make sense.
Like, wow.
There's no story.
There's none. The book was like, and then the workers went back to work, and they built a house. Like,
what?
It's ridiculous.
So I'm more baffled that Telltale Games is working on this, because I understand that now Notch has left Minecraft, or Mojang rather.
Yeah. Hey, and there's money in Minecraft though. I think Telltale's going where the cash is.
That's the only explanation I can think of, is that Telltale just wants the check.
Yeah.
But like at this point, they make so much money with their other games. Why do they
that Game
be
of
like
Thrones
that?
is going to get them a pretty penny.
Yeah.
And Walking Dead and Walking Dead Season 2 were great. Wolf Among Us did super well. Well, honestly, their only big failure is the Jurassic Park game.
They should try again with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, maybe they should.
Now that Star-Lord is going to be in a new Jurassic Park movie, they can try again.
Good. I can't wait to see Jurassic Park Star Space Prince.
Sorry, Space Prince. Moving on.
Comet King versus the dinosaurs. Moving on, yes. Assassin's Creed Unity, you done it again!
Again.
Although this is from December 17th, so this is old at this point.
Okay.
But it's still funny.
If I have to see that picture of that faceless man one more freaking time.
So, the fourth major patch to fix a deeply flawed game, Assassin's Creed Unity, weighed in at 6.7 gigabytes.
Woof.
Yeah. But on the Xbox One, a mistake means that this patch is causing players to have to re-download the entire 40 gigabyte game.
Woof.
Double woof.
Double woof.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We talked about with Master Chief Collection how there was a 20 gigabyte patch day one for that game. That's crazy. This is crazy.
Because it's not even just a 40 megabyte, because there's also the 6.7 I'm sorry,
on top of that.
So the 46
50 gigs
for one patch
to fix the broken game you bought.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed Unity, you're such a blunder.
And I like how they were talking about how they were saying like, yeah, and I mean I guess people have to reinstall the game because we sort of had to rebuild all of Paris to fix this glitch. And I was like, dude, your glitch was so deeply ingrained in your game that you had to rebuild the entire cityscape of the game
to help its frame rate.
Ugh. Whoa.
You guys coded bad.
Yeah, real bad.
This game, it becomes more and more apparent what a slapdash job putting this game together had to have been. Like this, and I don't blame the development team. It's super clear to me this game was pushed out the door, and no one was given any time to properly check and code and quality, do QA testing on like anything. Mm-hmm. Like they got it running and pushed it out the door.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Polygon, who this article is from, scored their latest entry, scored Unity a 6.5 for its uninspiring story and long list of considerable technical problems. So much that they have a roundup article of all of its technical problems.
Oh yeah, that's what when we originally reported on the technical problems, I think that's what we cited.
It's so bad.
There's so many.
When you need to release a patch that is meant to fix frame rate drops, crashes, and lost progression.
The fourth patch.
The fourth patch to fix these things, and that patch is 6.7 gigs. You messed up.
You beefed it real hard.
You beefed it super. You boofed it. This game's set in France.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You boofed it super hard. On a happier note, there's DLC for Far Cry 4 called Escape from Durgesh Prison. And this DLC will be adding a permadeath feature to the game.
And a lot of like mini game type things that you have to go through to try to escape, and a character from Far Cry 3 who you meet up with.
Yeah, it's $10. It'll be free if you get the season pass. Far Cry 3, half crazy Far Cry 3 veteran Herc. He was some crazy dude you met in the game, and he gave you gadgets and weapons and stuff.
Just some crazy guy.
People liked him. You can compete in time trials. There's single player and co-op. And I guess the permadeath is just for this DLC. Which is fine. Now, the reason this caught my eye is because I always thought permadeath was a really cool feature to have in a game. As long as you can turn it off. Should you want it.
It's one of those things that after you've played a game a while and have really gotten used to it,
challenge yourself.
Yeah, it adds that extra level of challenge, which can be a lot of fun.
I thought it would be cool if they had permadeath to the whole game. That would be pretty awesome. But even if it's just this DLC, it's still cool, because I've always just thought that was a neat feature in things. Mm-hmm. Even Diablo 2, with its hardcore mode and stuff. That's the kind of game where I'm a little more like, oh, I don't want to do that. But an action game like this, I like that idea. I think it's really cool. So this will be neat. When's this DLC coming out?
I totally don't remember.
Neither do I. January 13th.
All right.
There we go. So very soon.
I also like that it's free with the season pass thing.
Yeah. And the season pass was $29.99, so that means there's definitely going to be more of these.
Yeah.
As well. And I'm assuming usually those season passes, if you really like the game and plan on getting all the DLC, are a good deal.
Yeah.
Usually save yourself like $10, $15. So they're nice. So we got like 5 minutes left. Do a little roundup of some upcoming game releases.
Yeah, what's coming out?
I'm looking forward on the 13th to Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition on the Vita. I want to play Duke Nukem 3D on my Vita.
Yeah.
No one can stop me.
Now no one can stop you.
We also got Atelier Aisha Plus, The Alchemist of Dusk.
I know what that means.
It's a JRPG.
Wait, really?
Go figure,
I never
right?
would have guessed.
That's going to be on the Vita as well. WWE Immortals on iOS and Droid.
The most exciting.
The best wrestling game, clearly.
Saints Row, Get Out of Hell. It comes out on the 20th.
Yes, and Resident Evil HD Remastered. I don't know which Resident Evil that is.
I think it's the first one.
Is it like a remaster of like the remake of the first game? That GameCube remake?
I think it might be another remake. I'm not 100% sure. I remember reading about it a while ago, and I totally don't remember
I'll have to keep
exactly.
an eye out for that, because that sounds cool.
It does sound really cool.
Yes, not a whole lot. Funk of Titans on Xbox One.
That sounds great. I don't know what it is, but I want it.
Some indie game.
I'm buying it. Just I don't know what.
Chariot on Wii U.
Do you drive a chariot?
This links to the studio, not the game. That's a bad sign.
That is a bad sign.
So nothing crazy. Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires on my birthday.
Oh, on the 27th is when Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out for PC.
And Grim Fandango Remastered.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm looking forward to both of those.
Yeah.
Because Grand Theft Auto 5, I think the only time I've seen it played is here at your house on your console.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been like, I really want to play that game on my PC.
It's super good.
And now that
the PC version will be the improved version as well.
It better be.
They'd released that remastered version. Which I finally picked up a PS4, so at some point I'm going to be picking that up too, the GTA 5 remastered, and all that stuff. Yeah, got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we're pretty much done
Did
here.
you mention there was something else at the beginning of the show? Something else you want to touch upon? Or am I making that up?
I think we're good.
Okay, yeah, we got a couple minutes, but
we end a little early.
whatever. You're free to go, everyone.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Except you can, because you can keep listening to the channel after we leave.
Listen to some cool chiptune music after our show's over.
So you've been listening to Don't Copy That Floppy. We are a weekly video game podcast, or video game news
by
podcast.
Lex.
That's me.
And
Dan.
Oh, you were gonna say it. That's also me. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
It's because you said my name, so then I was going to say your name.
I know, I messed my own thing up.
Your whole thing. You messed it up.
It's all over.
But anyway, you can, thank you so much for listening. If you listened live, we super appreciate it. I'm looking at you, Andrew Moffley.
Dude, he better be.
If he's not, I'm going to be very disappointed.
He's a loyal listener.
But yeah, so if you want to check us out on other social media stuff, please like us on Facebook. Please find us on Twitter at DCTF Podcast on there. Follow us there. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and then download our show archive. Or you can download our show archive through the chipit.net website.
Yes, indeed.
You can also join our Steam group and follow us as a curator on there.
Yes,
I think that's everything. So there's just one last thing to say. Remember, don't copy that floppy. That floppy. That floppy.